Look what the cat dragged in.
We need to talk.
What? No, hello, good morning. Pucker up and kiss my ass? Nothing?
Hello.
Good morning, White Wolf. Will you take some tea? It's a fortifying beverage.
Some other time, maybe. Spoken to the king yet?
Indeed, he was delighted to hear he can be cut from the curse.
Great, because I need the medallion of the priest known as Crest. I heard it's in Henselt's possession.
He'll give you nothing until you free him from the curse. Truthfully, I believe I understand him. You have a good chance of perishing when you confront the Draugrs.
Give me a break, Deathmold. The two of you are just afraid I'll leave this entire mess in your hands.
Ah, that is something I do not fear at all, for I know exactly why you are here. As for the king, you may curse him and scold him and call him a fool if you wish, though it's not something I would advise.
Learn anything new about the curse?
A mage on the other side of the fog is also probing the battlefield. A sorceress.
How do you know?
You shall know them by the fruit of their spells. Magic differs with the brain type that generates it. The female mind is simply laid out differently.
It could be Triss.
No, Witcher, it's someone far more powerful.
I found Trot and a few other enthusiasts of the square coins.
Did you learn who leads them?
No.
Any survivors?
No.
Ah, you might at least have spared Trot. I'm sure he had secrets.
Any reward for the conspirators?
Indeed. A nice round sum per head.
I could use the gold.
How many were there?
Vincent and 5 others.
You killed 6 men. You and your kind should be isolated.
The reward?
Is yours? Here.
I've had about enough. We'll have to sit it out like hens on their eggs until this mist lifts.
It won't just disappear. They say only a spell will lift it.
Still looking for coins. What else am I to do? This mist is driving me crazy.
Not another fucking stone.
The elder and the recruiter are coming for you. He's slaughtering pigs at the top. Oi! What you doing here?
I heard Zivik can't wait for you to get back.
Plough it all. If we miss muster, he'll have us flogged. Get us out of here, will ya?
You came here on your own. You can get back on your own.
This place is crawling with droners. I mean, we'd have stayed in our tents on our arses if we'd known. We're safe in the circle, but 3 feet outside, and who knows what would happen.
All right, we'll go back together, but let me look around first. Apparently, it's bad luck to tread on the ashes. Nothing interesting. Strange aura. Let's take a closer look. Carved from a solid piece of stone. Reusable, you could say. Candles, amulets, coins. People make offerings here like they would at a shrine. Candles. The stench is worse than Zoltan's boots. Nothing unusual about them otherwise. Square coins adorned with a fish. I guess the plotters like to come here. Let's see. An unnatural stillness typical of intersections and places where streams of the power meet. Unnerving but harmless. People seem to be staying away from the wheel. They're afraid. All the gifts are at a safe distance from it. Except for one person. With Kedweni Army issue boots. Glad to know I'm not the only one to desecrate this site. Animal tracks. Dogs, wolves, bears, even birds. You'd think this was a feeding ground, but they all fear the circle. Except for cats. Their tracks are everywhere. One even napped on the pedestal. Triss once told me cats like to sleep on intersections. And they're the only beasts apart from dragons who can draw the power. They clearly like this place. Sabrina was nailed to this wheel. Something protected the wheel from the flames. It's hardly scorched. Fresh holes and splinters. Someone's pulled nails from the wheel recently. I better take one, just in case. I need to bring the king here. I need to reenact the execution. If I can only summon Sabrina's ghost, I could force her to lift the curse. The Draugrs and the mist will remain, but at least the king will be safe. I need to know what happened here. Witnesses of the execution, they're the key. If I can just find out how Sabrina died, I should be able to free Henselt of the curse. 2 leads. Sabrina's cultists and the nail thief who's obviously immune to the aura of this place. Time to question some soldiers.
You've looked and touched your fill, right? Let's get out of here.
Did you light those candles?
We did.
What's it to you?
Burning them for Sabrina?
To you, 'tis a waste of time, right?
Feel their eyes on you. They're watching us. We won't get out alive, superstitious idiots that we are.
Don't you believe the visionary? You don't have to. But it was worth a try, right?
Old idiot. It's his fault we ended up here.
Who is this visionary?
He's behind all this. He talks of miracles in the circle.
I believe him. Know why? He lives deep in the valleys, but something protects him from all those harpies.
Did you see them burn the sorceress?
3 years ago. We both served under Henselt then, but only the 5th Company guarded the stake.
They say the king never wanted to make a spectacle. Some soldiers never come here, but others visit the circle to check the remains.
You're just like them. To you, it's only a superstition to make money from. You're looking for old nails in the ashes.
Like that shitbag who trades outside the inn.
You're mistaking me for someone else.
Really? Then give us the nails.
I'm keeping it.
Keeping it? Not heard what they say. Relics are like fist tech for simple folk.
How did you manage to avoid the drowners on your way here?
The visionary was with us. He led us through, then left.
I don't like this place.
Thought you'd want to stay the night here.
I know at least a few places I'd rather sleep. Come on.
Beats me why they've been fighting over these hellholes for generations.
I get goosebumps every time I go outside the palisade.
Guess Vic was right. We should have sat on our arses.
You'll be whistling a different tune.
You're ugly. Drowner lairs. Not the best spots for picnics.
Curses on him! If it wasn't for you, they'd have eaten us.
We owe you our lives, Witcher. We can't let Zivik catch us.
Don't shit your pants. Sabrina saved us from the monsters. So what's one little Zivik to her?
Want to...
When the time comes, practice on your own for now.
His mother comes and tells him the elder and the recruiter are coming.
Here to spy on us.
Who would I be spying for?
For Henselt, the Death Mold. I heard they hired you.
It just so happens we have common aims. But don't worry, observing Vernon Roach isn't one of them.
In that case, to what do I owe this pleasure?
I was wondering what you're actually doing here, Vernon.
The Blue Stripes never want for work, especially in a hotbed like this.
You're not about to tell me, are you? And here I thought we had something special.
I've got my finger on the pulse, and I've not forgotten what I came here for, Geralt.
Foltest's assassin.
Precisely. He's holed up like a rat, and he'll meet a rat's end.
Any idea what's happening on the other side of the Battle of Spectres?
Well, I expect not much has changed. A bunch of dwarves, elves, and peasants are trying to figure out how to save Edda.
Saskia's an exceptional woman.
But just a woman, nonetheless. Besides, how would you know?
Just a hunch. And there's all the talk. Besides, to assemble an army of elves, dwarves, and humans who fight side by side, you pretty much have to be extraordinary.
You'll not persuade me some woman will defeat Henselt in battle.
You're forgetting one thing. Kedwin's just fighting for a better life. Eddern's fighting for life itself.
Motivation's important, I grant you. But it can't trump knowledge of the art of war. Temeria's my only concern. And I'll be glad to see Henselt's forces tied up here. That's a good thing.
Think he wouldn't stop after conquering Eddern? What if he quickly deals with Saskia and turns his army west?
It's possible, but I hope it won't come to that.
You need to be careful. Death Mold can't learn that you're holding a Kedweni spy.
He won't. Don't you worry, though.
Death Mold has an excellent net of his own spies.
That spy we caught at Laredo's, Arnold. He's prancing around in the next world.
Did he spill anything interesting?
He was tough, but waterboarding can be incredibly effective. Eventually, he coughed up that Henselt was trying to bring the border towns to a boil.
Henselt's not stupid. He wouldn't want to wage war on two fronts.
That rat Laredo was supposed to stir unrest in Flotsam. Luckily, you rearranged his intestines with your blade.
You miss your old friend, Yorvith?
If the gods are kind, he'll yet fall into my hands. That said, I wonder what the scoundrel's up to.
What news of good old Flotsam?
Thanks to us, it still is good old Temerian Flotsam. If I hadn't sniffed out Laredo's treachery, a Kedweni garrison would be stationed there already. Constable John Natalis has appointed a new commandant to Flotsam. Let's hope he doesn't turn out to be another whore.
He does what?
Puts a pig's eye in his ass.
Life can be really simple. I thought...
Better to ask the way than to go astray.
That's politics. What's it to us?
Not another fucking stone.
Still looking for coins. What else? What do you want, Witcher?
There's a soldier by the inn selling scraps from Sabrina's execution site.
I know. The damn quartermaster. This business of his muddles the minds of the soldiers. Suddenly, everyone believes a splinter in your pocket will protect you in battle. Half-wits.
After what happened here 3 years ago, it's no surprise they're terrified.
I'll tell you one thing, Witcher. In combat, I can count on my shield, my armor, and my comrades, if they still live. Many of those boys will die in Bergen, even with their pockets stuffed with mystical splinters that cost a silver piece each. I want them to be afraid. When steel hits steel, I want them to be alert, damn it! If they're dumb and put their trust in rusty nails and ashes, they won't have a hope in hell.
The soldiers you were looking for, they got held up for a while at Sabrina's circle.
Oh, the idiots! To be duped by witchcraft and superstitions. I'll put them to scrubbing the latrines indefinitely. But I thank you for bringing them back. Your reward, as promised.
So long.
They've hired a witcher.
Not another fucking stone.
For Sabrina, who died under fire! Help us!
Thanks for your help, Witcher. We were in a tight spot there. The rotfiends are multiplying like rabbits. We were on our way to see the visionary, bearing gifts and all. But I'll be damned if I'll take one more step that way. Wouldn't be on your way to see him, would you? If you are, give him this coin for us. Do what you will.
I awaited them. They were to come bearing gifts. I heard their cries. Guess they were attacked. If they're not here, they must be dead.
No, they're alive. They didn't want to risk it anymore, went back to camp. They asked me to give you this coin, for candles.
This is but half. Why, I'll not do more than braid some wicks for this. What do you want from me? I'll not believe you came here by chance.
Yeah, you're right. I need to learn some things, and few are willing to talk. Sabrina Glevisig's story, that's what interests me most.
Listen, I'll not speak with you until I get my coin. Pure and simple. Though I do provide charitable help to the faithful, if you were to become one of them.
I've heard a lot of good things about you. All right. I'll become a follower.
Wonderful. Listen then, for I'll not say this twice. If your intentions are pure, you will do as I ask. Each convert must pass a test. You will spend the night at the old chapel near Sabrina's pupils.
Where?
Twin lakes I have named in her honor.
Is that all?
Before you kneel to meditate, you will drink the mixture I shall give you. You must then remember all that occurs. That's very important, as you'll need to recount it to me fully.
All right. I'll come back once I'm done.
Huh? What other matters?
So long. I'm too old for this. Don't know that anybody needs to know about that one.
Huh? What other matters? Huh?
I did what you asked.
Tell me what you saw.
You may think I'm as mad as you are, but in my vision I walked through a forest where the trees were huge mushrooms and a giant chicken walked between them, pecking at the underbrush.
You have no idea how happy I am. I've been having this vision of a giant hen among mammoth mushrooms for weeks. I thought I'd lost it, gone insane. Turns out my herbs must have gone off. I'll need to gather new ones, but that's my concern. Ask me what you will.
You must know a lot about Sabrina Glevisig's death.
Sabrina the Martyr left the world of the living to protect us all.
Did you hear about the curse Sabrina cast on the king?
Of course. A well-deserved punishment, a ghostly spell from her crimson lips. The king concocted a cruel fate for the sorceress, humiliated her, made her suffer the flames. Bound to a wheel and placed on the stake, she suffered in a way unimaginable to ordinary humans. But when the flame reached her maiden waist, not a single cry could be heard, only words foretelling King Hensel's imminent demise. Let a shooting star split the heavens and mark its mortal journey with a braid of blood. Let fools be duped by the sight of fish scales, turned by magic into square pieces of gold. Let the unicorn violate 1,000-year-old rules, prompting a just punishment. Sabrina suffered so badly that a merciful soldier ended her torment, thrusting his spear into her aching heart.
Why the candles? What's the difference between Sabrina and other mages burned at the stake?
Others were strong in life. Her power bloomed when death wrapped its steely arms around her. She took the soldier who ended her suffering under her kind care. He never had to fear walking alone in the dark again. Have you seen the area? It's full of beasts and monstrosities. Jahan, the merciful soldier, has walked in the blaze of our power ever since. No creature born of darkness can get close to him.
Now, back to some other matters. Tell me again what you know about Sabrina.
What exactly do you want to know?
Any chance of finding that spear?
It was so long ago, Witcher. But I believe the spear went to another soldier. The bugger sells relics from Our Lady by the Camp Inn.
I know who you mean. So long. Guess they'll make
Not another fucking stone.
Said this nail was the closest to our right hand. You fool!
Relics, artifacts, trinkets and talismans. Hallowed and highly valuable.
Did you see Sabrina's execution?
Sure I did. I was in the 5th Company. I remember the commotion when that idiot Yahon killed her with a spear. If only I had that spear now.
Do you remember the sorceress Sabrina?
Same as all the others. Looked like a young nympho, with an old hag inside. You want to talk about her? See that freak who burns candles?
You know Yahon well?
He despises me now, but things used to be different. We were called up at the same time. We fought under Hensel together. But I managed somehow, while he hated it. Why did they send him to that ferocious battle? He was the worst dumbass in the entire army, but he outlived the best soldiers. Covered in shit, piss, snot and tears, and still he survived. He cracked when they burned Sabrina. A beautiful end to a fucking beautiful day. Then he went to the dogs. He pissed away all he had on drink. I was the fool who followed him and brought everything he pawned around the inns. That's how I got the spear.
I know you have the spear Yahon used to pierce Sabrina's heart.
I told you about that, and I thought the old freak was trying to forget the sins of his past.
You know Yahon well?
He despises me now, but things used to be different. We were called up. Why did... He cracked, then he went...
I need that spear.
Tough luck, Witcher. I last saw it a few years back.
What happened to it?
Look how similar we are. You want knowledge, I want coin, and we both need help to get what we want.
How much?
What are your customary takings on a contract? I'll gladly accept but 1/2 of that.
Tell me about her.
After all, business is going well. You see, when Yahon lost his head for Sabrina, I bought the spear from the innkeeper. The donkey's arse pawned it in the inn. Drank like a fish. By then, Yahon had already hidden in the hills, where no one dares to venture. Some call him the Visionary, but in my book, he's just a nutter. Beats me why the beasts don't attack him. A fisherman who supplies the canteen said that some monsters hate the smell of fish oil. Yahon makes candles out of it.
What did you do with the spear?
Sorry to say I lost it in a dice game. Shame, because today it'd fetch a good price. I lost the spear to a soldier who later fought the squirrels in the forests of the Pontar Valley. He told me he'd used it to kill some Scoia'tael big shot. I heard the shaft cracked as if there'd been some fucking jousting tournament. The most interesting thing is that big shot is still alive. I heard he's now with that vixen from Edirn. Some frigging commander. Elves are weird creatures. Who knows, maybe he still has that spearhead.
Yorvith.
You know him.
I'll tell you for 100 orens.
Bah!
I found footprints at Sabrina's execution site. Do you know anything about that?
Why would I? You found them, not me.
Yet your boots are black from ash.
Shh. All right. What do you want to know?
Do you believe in the power of your merchandise?
You mean the relics? Others believe in them, that's what counts. They'll believe in anything that gives them hope. Soldiers shit their pants and throw up in fear before going into battle. If kissing a rusty nail gives them courage, then in my book, it works.
So long.
The enemy have fed you now.
The whole camp's gone berserk looking for the coins. Grown lads with their arses in the air. Spoiled my day.
I need magic powder to mark out the runes.
Are you aware that the formula requires powdered camphor resin?
I am.
Then you must also know that the resin is extremely valuable.
Get Henselt to pay you. I need the powder to do the exorcism, reverse the prophecy, and release him from the curse.
You should have said, I'll give you as much as you need.
Thanks, on the king's behalf.
I've one more thing you might find useful.
What's that?
You asked me for protective runes. I've done better. Take this grimoire, which details many. I believe there's even one for syphilis. I've marked my recommendations.
Thanks. I've got to get through the mist, or I can't lift the curse.
I shall supply the white flag when you set out as our emissary. The lass is reputedly honourable. She'll welcome you, invite you to a feast, and with a bit of luck you may even plough her.
You're sick, Death Mold.
They say she's very pretty. Peasant girls not to your liking?
Not your concern.
In case the elves lack an understanding of diplomatic symbolism, please also take this armor. With His Majesty's blessing, I might add.
A king's concern can be boundless when his life depends on that of another.
I spent some time working on this recently. This little marvel will guide you through the fog and provide a measure of protection from the spectres.
Thanks. I think I know how to free the king from his curse.
Well then, let's get to work.
Can't do anything until I have the spear the soldier stabbed Sabrina with. Problem is, it's in the hands of a Scoia'tael commander named Yorvith.
I know this Yorvith. Are you certain this is the spear?
Mm-hmm. I last saw him back in Flotsam.
Yorvith is in Vergen, Witcher, along with most of the Scoia'tael from the area. They've joined that peasant girl's insurgency.
Yorvith part of a peasant uprising? It doesn't make sense.
There's only one way to confirm or disprove it. You must cross to the other side of the mist. What of the other artifacts? Do you know them all now?
Not yet.
In that case, you must wait until you've learned everything before crossing. It's a dangerous voyage, not one to attempt twice, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say. You must know a lot about the Wild Hunt, as one of the reigning majesties among mages.
I simply cannot concern myself with folk tales about corpses flying about on intensely emaciated steeds.
The Wild Hunt's no myth. See you.
Greetings, Witcher.
The sight of your camp must instill fear in your enemies' hearts. I'm certain the stench does.
Normal military conditions, Witcher. Boiling cabbage, stale sweat, and the smell of fear. They're constant companions in the expansion of any great empire.
Thanks for the history lesson. I take it you'll wait until the last minute to bring the remaining troops across.
Nothing sinks defenders' hearts more than steady increases in their enemies' ranks. Though I'll say these Vergen sons of bitches are worthy foes and won't flee so easily. It's good having a neighbor who knows how to fight.
I'm not sure the people of Eddern share that sentiment. Death Mold was kind enough to help me. I may be able to lift the curse sooner than I thought.
Details don't interest me. I expect results. That said, Master Geralt, what would you say to a long-term offer? Protection, for instance.
If it involves eliminating monsters, then yes.
That's perfect. My regal person is at all times threatened by potential monsters.
Not the same. I'm ill-suited to being a bodyguard.
You tread upon a slippery meadow, Witcher. Beware, it's strewn with the nastiest cow pies. I'm not one to be refused.
It would run counter to Witcher rules, Your Majesty. I don't meddle in politics. I agreed to lift the curse because that's a part of my profession.
And I usually get what I want.
I still refuse. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it, and the bodyguard with moral dilemmas is not likely to provide the best protection.
Seems logical, though I'd even say it contains a hint of a threat. Congratulations, Witcher! You've managed to piss me off and entertain me at the same time.
Good to see you, you old rogue.
Why the long face, Sultan?
Everything's fucked.
The only sight worse than a sad dwarf is the sight of a very sad dwarf.
I don't suppose you have any vodka?
Do I look like a liquor peddler?
You've always enjoyed a tipple.
Let me tell you, Zoltan, I'd kill for a drink with you too.
What's stopping you?
If I'm drunk, I just might not manage.
That's fucking worrying.
If you need a change of climate, come with me. I'm on my way to Bergen.
You say that as if you're going to the brothel round the corner. Forgetting about the spectres?
I may have amnesia, but I remember the curse.
Well, all I get around here is non-human midget and the like. And I've dwarven brethren on that side. Sure as shit, I'll take Saskia over that prick Hensel too. You really willing to help me cross?
Of course.
You know, Geralt, I have a feeling that Vergen's where I should be.
I get you. Let's go.
How do you plan to get through the fog? Thought it was suicide to venture into it.
Death Mode gave me a protective amulet.
Throw it out! I wouldn't touch anything belonging to that dick.
The magical potential of the talisman will cause a local interference in the astral projection, creating disharmony where the two dimensions of reality meet.
Meaning?
The mist should part to let us pass.
You should have put it like that to begin with, instead of all that crap about astral bodies. I'll go with you. I can't wait to have some proper ale instead of that piss water to drink in the Kidweni camp. Thanks again, Geralt.
Tough crossing ahead of us, Sultan.
Looking to scare me now? We're going, and that's that.